Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're going to be going over 10, maybe more things that will make you a better Krieg player. Krieg is a complex character and has a lot going on, so let's go ahead and jump into it. So for the first one, this one is one you would want to use for early game and not late game because the skill, Light the Fuse, is not a great skill late game. But for early game, it's actually pretty decent and there's a little secret behind it. So we're going to take it and down ourselves. There we go. So a lot of people, when they use Light the Fuse, they spam over and over and click like as much as they can. That will actually slow down your throws. You can see here we throw at this constant rate. But if you time your clicks as soon as you grab the dynamite, like right here, you can throw faster. So throw, 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 like that. And you get the timing over time, but you can throw maybe like 1.5 times faster. Again, not good for late game, but definitely something you want to use for early game. Oh man, I'm out of rocket ammo. Oh, this sucks. Let me go buy some. Oh, wait a minute, we're OP10. That's so much money. Yeah, did you know you can actually take your Buzz Axe and throw it at the floor with an Absorb Shield and regen rockets? The Buzz Axe actually has a very, very, very small amount of splash, so you can absorb that and get rockets back. There are so many skills in the right tree for Hellborn that give you a lot of bonuses while you're on fire, you know, like better slide chance, more weapon damage, damage reduction, fire rate, mag size, a ton of stuff. But sometimes when you're doing Hellborn, you just don't catch on fire. Like, it's a random chance, right? Well, you can use a launcher, fire burst, whatever you want at a low level, and, you know, set yourself on fire. That will give you all your bonuses on demand, and you can utilize the Hellborn tree to the max. Pretty cool. Pull the pen, for the most part, is not the best skill in the world, but it's actually very, very useful if you're fighting bunker. So if you are trying to get from level, you know, like 50 to 80, you can spec the skill, and then also put on something like the Skyrocket. And now you can use other things like the, like a bonus package or something, but it doesn't always work. And then you're going to down yourself and then have the Skyrocket go up and kill the boss. Probably move a little bit closer here. That should be okay. And because we're getting the final blow with the Skyrocket, that means that we get the double XP for the kill. And you get like a lot of XP for this. Because you die out and don't see the XP you gain, I did calculate it here. Subtract a couple bot kills and we're looking at like 52,000 XP. For one bunker kill. One. This one is well known by a lot of people, but the Buzz Axe is actually coded as a bandit pistol. So if you increase your fire rate with pistols, like the Sheriff's Badge here, 56% more fire rate will be a lot more for your Buzz Axe throws. So we throw this. You can see the speed is, not terrible. Pick this up. And now we can throw a lot faster. So if you're doing a melee build, be sure to slap that on and increase your fire rate. Or throw speed, I guess. For the next one, you don't need more than 1 point for throw of the kill, only 1 point. Don't do 5, it's a waste of points, put them elsewhere. So 50% of overkill, even in early game, is a lot of healing. And that means that anything you do, we're not holding a Moxie weapon by the way, anything you do is going to jump you back up to full HP. So save the extra points and optimize your build. Melee builds are a lot of fun, but sometimes, you know, you have to sit there in combat and let enemies hit you to lower your HP to activate the Release of Beast skill. And that can be a little bit annoying and time-consuming, so instead you can actually self-damage yourself using a Rocketeer. Now this is one from Bot Stallion, the Gemstone one, but you can use whatever, green rarity, blue rarity, doesn't matter. And just self-damage yourself and get down to your 1/3 HP. There we go. Then we can activate our Release the Beast before we enter combat. And then we're ready to take on the enemies and there's no stalling around. Also, you can use other forms of damage like, you know, grenades or launchers, as long as they're a little bit lower of a level. But I do find that the Rocketeer works the best for me. Alright, even more with the melee, so if you're using Fuel the Blood and Buzz Axe Bombardier with your melee build, if you get a melee kill, you get more grenade damage and that multiplies into your Buzz Axe Bombardier. Do not keep swinging if your Fuel the Blood is active, because you're going to multiply that grenade damage into your face thanks to Silence the Voices and end up downing yourself. So make sure that if you're doing melee, that when you get a melee kill and activate Fuel the Blood, that you're swinging away and getting one kill, and then after that start chucking. Because if you hit yourself in the face, you're going to hurt yourself really bad. Let's see if we can get an example here. Oh, and yeah, you can see I took half my damage. By the way, I'm wearing a Rough Rider too for a lot of HP. So again, to get a melee kill, you can see here, I'm going to kill this dude. We are on OP10 by the way, and I didn't slag him, so melee would be a little more tricky. And then yeah, chuck away and don't swing at your face. Up next, don't use Void Shields on Krieg. I know it sounds crazy, but 99% of the time, you don't need them. Because if you hit yourself in the face with all that raid damage from the Silence the Voices skill, you're going to instantly go down. So what's the point of doing melee if you're always in fight for your life, right? When it comes to melee Krieg, all of your melee damage comes from this skill right here, and some small other things too. So you don't even need this. Even for OP10, you don't need a Void Shield. you can do the work. So you might be thinking, what is the ideal shield for melee Krieg? Right over, where's it at? Not a 94 Sham. Or, sorry, Transformer. This character's, you know, Gib, by the way. Rough Rider. You put on the Rough Rider, it's going to give you a lot of HP, allow you to survive in Buzzsack's Rampage or Release the Beast. You can sustain your self hits and also never really go down. Blades are pretty cool, right, for the melee build? Well, not on Krieg. So, after level 44, your melee damage, if you're holding a blade that only gives 50% melee damage, gives you less damage. So, Bladed Ruby, Bladed Grog and stuff, after level 44, don't use it anymore. The way it works is as you level up through your character, you get more and more HP and more melee damage. And so, after 44, Krieg is at 50.4% melee damage. And it only goes up from there as you get to level 80. So if you're holding a bladed weapon, you can see here when I swing, the buzz axe doesn't come out. So it's only getting the multiplier from the weapon itself, which is 50%. But if you actually hold anything else without a blade, you're getting your base multiplier, which means you're doing more melee damage. Now there are some exceptions. You can use the rapier for 200% melee or the law for 100% melee. But even those aren't worth it. Like, bladed weapons are not really worth it on Krieg. Because if you're in your Release the Beast, you're not holding a melee weapon at all. You're not getting like the rapier 200% bonus melee or anything like that. And this is going to be chained over and over, so you should not really have to be running around poking enemies with a blade in the first place. If you're chaining Release the Beast over and over, you're getting the best melee damage for your build. Again, there are some rare exceptions, but for 99% of the game, Release the Beast is the way to go. Hey, guess what? Even more melee facts. So during Release the Beast, you can throw your buzz axes, but once it starts ending, you'll do the animation of like it ending. You can get one more buzz axe thrown out before it ends. So make sure you spam a little bit longer to get the extra throw because it will increase your DPS, which means damage per second. You guessed it, even more melee stuff. So in the right tree, we have a skill called Elemental Elation, in which if we do damage over time to enemies, we get stacks that will increase our fire rate and our mag size. The fire rate will apply to your throw speed for your buzz axe. Now, something like Embrace the Pain doesn't actually increase your throw speed, which is quite odd, but this one will. So you can see here, we're gonna get a few stacks, throw a couple pandemic grenades. There we go. I'll do this, and you will gradually see my throw rate increase more and more as we get more stacks. If you're doing a melee build, grab that skill. For the last one, I showed this off in a 10 things video recently, but I do want to add it to this video because it is a Krieg fact. Let's say you mess up your melee, right? You did your Buzzsack's Rampage early, or you know, you're waiting for it to cool down, or you didn't chain Release the Beast right and you have to wait for that to cool down. Well, instead of taking like actual damage, you can get in the car, and then while you're in the car, you don't have a shield, right? You're just HP. So any damage you take while in the car will actually cool down your Release the Beast or your Buzzsack's Rampage. So we're going to take some shots here. So normally it takes 2 minutes to cool down, which is a very, very long time. Take a couple more shots. So if I jump out the car right now, you can see here, we have it back, which means we can chain it again. So if you're doing melee for early game in which you don't have Release the Beast yet, or you somehow end up failing your chains for Release the Beast, then you could do that. Pretty cool. Anyways, I hope you guys learned something new on Krieg. Hopefully these tips will make you a better Krieg player over time, and you can, you know, refine your gameplay. So if you did find any of these tips useful, then be sure to drop a like on the video. I'd super appreciate that. And if you do want to see the other characters, be sure to drop a sub if you want to, and also comment who you want to see next below. Anyways, you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.